Mhm. Have you ever asked me something and I haven't answered? Have you?
The last time I left a message on the phone because they said it, I know they, and I said, I would like to talk to somebody in person instead of leaving my question on the machine.
Mhm.
And I was hoping that someone would call me back so I could set up and talk to.
Okay, so.
And what, remember, I'm 83 years old.
Mhm.
I'm used to talking to people. And I understand the phone is important. But I'm working, I'm trying hard to work with you.
Yes.
The new technology and everything else.
Right. Yeah.
But I would appreciate it that if you can't be there, that's fine. Call me back.
Okay.
You need me.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, I'm very surprised by your response, though. I'm very surprised by your response, though, because I've seen you multiple times at the office. You've called the office. You've had issues. I've had people come over. I've called you back to follow up. So it's just very surprising that you say that. Yeah.
Somebody return my phone call, please. I was told
Sure.
it was an emergency, and I called 5 times and left messages, and they said there was water leaking from my unit into the person below me. And it was an emergency that I called back, and I did right away, and 5 times I called and left messages. The machine is full, and it's an emergency, so if my apartment is leaking water into somebody else's unit down, I think that is an emergency, and I should get a response right away.
Okay.
Because that could be affecting the person below me, thinking that I'm not responding.
Okay.
I'm responding as fast as I can.
Okay.
I'm trying to do this.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
have not gotten any message
Okay.
back, and it was told to me that it's an emergency that I call back right away.
Yes.
3 days in a row, left messages, and nobody ever called.
Okay.
So, is that emergency still happening?
Yes.
It's not, so I.
Can we make sure that all the bulletin boards have our emergency after hour number, please?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and whatever alternate, numbers so that people can be sure to get some response.
So we have the emergency line that
Okay.
will answer at any time. And if they can't reach
Okay.
Nikki, it comes to me. If I can't answer, it'll go to
Okay.
the president of the company. So.
All right, so then that's what is probably missing, that, those numbers.
Yeah.
Hey, Ross Peters, involved with the 2/3 of that, essentially, which was mentioned, we should have paid this year. It would really be highly exorbitant. Why audit a monthly purchase that you did?
Well,
We
and
can't hear what he's saying.
2/3 of the.
thank you. And
We have to pay.
Yes.
those next year, or it'll get worse. On the other hand, the discrepancy they're talking about. $51,000 more, $137,000. Oh, let me finish.
Let him finish.
Maybe a simple outline for the next 7 days to post in all the glass box for the discrepancy between insurance and full assessment. That's what we need, a simple outline. Does that mean down to the king say, we spent $15,000 on the roof, we spent this on pest control, this outline to discrepancy.
No, it's,
Right.
okay.
It's
Okay, so.
what they're angry about.
Okay, if I could get 2 minutes, to break it down. Yeah. No, I can tell you where it's coming from. If I get 2 minutes. Yeah, it's okay, but okay, I will summarize it.
just.
I just need 2 minutes. I just need 2 minutes and your attention.
Before you take your
I
2
just need
minutes,
2 minutes and your attention.
we're going to give you 2 minutes. I just want to say I was at that meeting and I also raised my hand. I said, why aren't we budgeting for this? And it was decided to, borrow the money from the reserves and assess for it. We didn't make that decision.
Right.
So, to be yelled at for that decision, I didn't make
Right.
that decision. We inherited it.
That's
Thank you for saying that, because that's correct. I understand what you're saying about the other part of it, and Nikki can take the floor now and explain some of that.
Okay. You have reserve funds, okay? And every time I talk about this, people get upset. You guys only have one bank account. The law requires that you keep your reserve funds separate from your operating money, separate from any special assessment money, okay? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you had one account. the reserves need to be at a certain level. You guys have an itemized running total that is on every monthly financial statement of what you're supposed to have in that account. At this time, you are $301,000 short on that amount because all your money was in one account. Nobody can tell you what the money was spent on. We got an account that was short $301,000. That has to be reimbursed from your operating account. When we take that $301,000 from your operating account, you are gonna have a deficit. That deficit must be covered by a special assessment. That's where that number came from. Everybody wants an itemized total. We can't give it to you. You had one bank account where everything was coming out. Exactly. That's what we got. That's what we walked in the door and you had $301,000 less than you should have. We need to put it back in. Otherwise, you are in breach. The law requires that reserve funds be kept separate.
I understand this is had another one last year, same time.
October?
Or we're gonna get another one next year too.
I can't tell you no.
Getting an assessment next year as well. And it's probably gonna be more than this one. But the big concern still, and I know we're not talking about it here, is the increase in each way by double. Now that's gonna really hurt this place.
Okay, so somebody earlier spoke about this Saturday at 2 o'clock meeting. That meeting was, 1 second, son. 1 second, everyone. That meeting was specifically set on Saturday because we thought more people could attend. Because people wouldn't be at work, you'd be at home, you'd be able to come. It was noticed, it was sent out in the emails. I can show you all the Friday emails where it was attached to the report. I can show you where the mention of it was in my notes in your meeting. If you go back to Town Square, check every Friday meeting going back, you will see it. All right? It is important, guys, that if something is sent out by email, those of you who have access to Town Square and you do get the emails, it is important that you read all the details. It's impossible for me to be able to speak to 230 people one at a time and fill you in on what's going on. Just 1 second, just 1 second. Just 1 second. Hold on. That meeting on Saturday at 2 o'clock, we sat down and we went up. I understand, but what I'm saying is we made the availability. Everyone was here to go through the budget. Guys, okay. We have to meet halfway here, somewhere. We have to meet. If we say, let's have a meeting, because we want to give you information. 1 second. If we say, let's have a meeting so we can give you information, if you don't come to the meeting, what else would you like us to do? Then we send you an email? But now you've gotten a letter and
Nikki.
not enough. Yes.
Hold on a second, Nikki. Hold on, everyone. So I don't know if they can hear me when I'm talking through the computer or not.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so, hello everyone. Sorry I'm not on camera. I'm in the process of actually moving my entire house right now. So, I am the regional director for CAST, so I've been listening to everything. I was at that budget workshop on Saturday. I understand that we didn't have a lot of attendance, and we want to be transparent. That is something that CAST believes in, is being transparent and going through that itemized budget to ensure that everybody is comfortable with what that proposed budget is. So I have no issue. Usually we do a budget workshop and then the day of the budget meeting, it's to adopt the budget. However, since I know that we didn't have a lot of participation on that budget workshop, I have no issue the day of the budget meeting doing a recap for those people that weren't able to be there, so that those that have questions can be answered before the board approves the budget.
Did everybody hear what she said?
No.
She said the next meeting is the 25th, Monday the 25th. That's the budget adoption meeting, 7 p.m. She is saying she's willing to go over the budget line by line, to go over all that detail that we discussed at the other meeting.
For those who may have missed it,
For those that have that missed the workshop.
yes.
Board, and you guys are there to speak and to see what are the strategies you can build to communicate them. You know what I'm saying? I walk 7 times, 3 days, and every time, every person I see, you know, each anybody know what happened. So I'm trying to deliver the message. So each board has to take over what
only thing that Florida statute requires us is to actually do the physical mailing.
Well, that's why Adrian suggested earlier that
Yes,
we're happy to take suggestions.
Yes,
If you
yes.
have suggestions.
Yes.
If you believe there are 5 people who can't leave their house, so we need to type them a letter and send it. This is why we're planning to do the census, so we can know who can't walk around.
Yes,
Who's
and
in their
who
house.
has names. The statutes are the least we can do. That's what we are required to do. We can always try to do more and try to do better. But it's a process that involves not just the board to say, oh, what are you gonna do as the board to make all of these things happen? We're a community. It's not just the board. If you want things to be better, then it's not just throwing things and saying what we're supposed to do. It's all of us. So if you have suggestions, then we're all part of that in making this better. That's my thing. It's not just, what are you going to do? We're all in this together. We're only 3 people and a management company, and there are many things going on. And remember, we're volunteers. We're volunteers. And we're doing this in addition to our real lives, right? So these things that you're saying we can't know about unless you bring them to our attention, and you can't say it's to our attention if you give it to one or the other. We have to develop a process.
Which brings us to, I think, something very important. One very important thing that came out of this evening. We need to know about these things.
Right.
If you're having trouble, if you have problems this way, please, tell us or come to the office or write Frank's number is out there. Call us. Tell us what.
I put my email in the
so we
chat.
can do something about it.
Well, Dan, something, I'm only going to here. You have the glass case downstairs where all the official business should be posted and locked, so nobody can remove it. There are posts in there from October. You never posted this meeting behind that glass. You haven't even had the courtesy to remove the old posting.
And the ones that you
So how, if they don't have access to the email or the website, how are they supposed to know? And you're then going to turn out of the residents, and I almost want to see if you do that on purpose, so that.
Nobody did that.
We're 3 people and the management, so nobody's doing anything on purpose. Forgive us if we can't be super people. The thing is, we appreciate the feedback and understand the frustration, but it doesn't help to project that we're doing something, intentionally. We're trying to do the best we can, and we're doing the best we can. So we can only do better if we work together.
Yes.
Robert, close it out.
If we work together, I'm just saying going forward, please do tell us when there's problems with communication. I'm not getting this message, or somebody who lives near me can't talk or can't walk or needs special attention. We need to know this stuff. I mean, that's very, very important. There's no question about that. It's important.
You are in a very important position there. So you have to go to the community. She cannot go and say, hey, I'm going to work.
I'm talking about the community. I'm talking about friends and neighbors.
No, but, okay, so she can't walk. How would she if she can't get the email, how would she see a notice posted down the hall or 2 floors down? Do you understand? How would she see that? How would she? And Barbara's very savvy on her phone. Barbara's very technological, so. Right. Yes, we're just asking you to meet us halfway. Just meet us halfway. We don't know everybody I personally, I'll speak for me. I don't know everybody that's here. I don't know everybody who's in a wheelchair. I don't know who's blind, I don't know, right? If you know something and that person is not connecting, let me know, what works for them, so I can reach out, so we can try to figure it out. But meet me halfway. Meet us halfway. Meet us halfway. We're not going to know everything.
Nikki, tell them about the letter that we have to take and get filled out by everybody, where they have to respond to everything that we're doing.
Yeah, we mentioned it to them. We do have to get that information sheet out so we can get everyone's information. The fire department has also required this of us. In the event of emergencies, they need to know who needs assistance, et cetera, and it's good that we know as well, because that protects us so we can assist to get the fire department to them,
That's
right?
what's
Things
going
like
on.
that.
That is part of this, you know, we need to know who's in the unit, you know, what pets are in the unit,
Yeah.
in case there should be a fire, you know, who has a disability, all of that stuff, and
Is that
coming
form already made
Yes,
and
it's drafted,
distributed?
yes,
Already
yes.
drafted.
Can we add to it a preferred method of communication?
Yes, we could.
Let's please do
out.
that.
Yeah. With disabilities, okay. Yes, my lady. All right, we'll take a last comment and then we'll have to wrap it up. Yes, my lady. She's on her feet though, so give her some time.
With the meeting on the same,
Yes.
the one account that's put over,
Mhm.
there wasn't, this being transmitted, there was a, the way I'm thinking of it is one account, but then it's 3 accounts.
Mhm.
And now the operating account is a deficit.
Once you reimburse the reserves, the operating will be.
We just divide into 3 accounts. Now,
When we took over, we opened you a separate operating account, right? Because the Truist bank account that you had, the board said, leave that there, because again, we don't know what's in it, so leave that there, open a new account. So we opened you an operating account at Banco Popular, so then it became 2. Then we opened you a reserve account at that same bank, so that's 3, right? But you still need a special assessment account because eventually that Truist account will go away. So those funds will be incorporated into the reserve account that you have at Banco Popular.
but you know, that one account that Tony brought this with into the reserve.
Say again?
There was one account.
There's only one account.
So
So,
what?
yeah,
Now there's the right amount of account.
right,
How much money came out of that one account that we were started with?
yeah.
And got moved into our reserve account that we now have?
$130,000 was taken out of that account because that's your roughly monthly expenses. That was moved to the operating account at Popular Bank to cover your ongoing expenses. In August, the board instructed us to put the 130 back from operating at Popular into the reserve at Popular Bank. Yeah.
So 130 was moved over.
130 was moved over, and $37,000 was used to pay your utilities for March and your utilities for April. Because when we got here May 1st, your utilities had not been paid for 2 months, and we got a notice that you got to pay or else you may get disconnected, yes.
Was, and no,
So that's a total of $167,000, yes.
was that all these numbers, or were they transparent in the transition?
Transparent, transparent.
There was one account,
Mhm.
let's just pretend, I mean, the numbers, it had $1 million, that $1 million got broken into 3 accounts, 3, whatever, I'm just remembering that, right? But you see how the money's been moving into accounts?
That one Truist account had $344,000. We removed $167,000, $130,000 to cover your ongoing monthly expenses, and the $37,000 to pay the 2 months worth of utilities. Nothing else was touched from that account, okay? The $130,000 that was put in the Popular account was used to pay regular monthly expenses. Once everything got streamlined and all your payments were applied to that account, we were then advised, instructed by the board to move $130,000 back to reserves. So that's the only movement of money.
Does any of that have to be communicated to, like, these numbers to us prior to this meeting?
Every month you get something called a monthly financial. If you go through that report, it will give you a breakdown of all the bank accounts, their balances, and any money movement. Yes, you get that at Town Square every month.
With that, yes, now I know, but one that report's not easy to read unless, you know, you kind of explain how to read it.
Okay?
But two, just in the transition, like, the transition of Tony to, you know, capital,
Cassie?
it's just, there's just a lot of questions about money that feels missing. And I know it's not missing, right? We all know it's not missing, but there's a lot of questions about where is it being moved. I think there's a that's the communication part. I think the frustration is in that, I'm sure, you know, when you explain it, the math is nothing. But that's like why I get to be here, to be asking these questions, for everyone to be putting out their